Hey everybody! So today we are going to be doing something a little different. I am part of a discount group on Facebook where they post Amazon stuff when it's deeply discounted or on promo, and that's how I get a lot of my nail stuff because I could never afford all this crap otherwise. Like, I get a lot of stuff when it's like 80 or 90% off, so I stock up when it's on like super sale and it comes with a promo code, whatever. Anyway, last week I saw a brush that was marked way down to, I think it was $5.99. And now it said that it was 100% sable, which that's what you want in an acrylic brush. You want to make sure that it's sable, Kolinsky sable, not nylon or anything else. Now, a couple people said that they had issues with it, so I posted it in the Nail Fairies group so that everybody could get in on the deal. A couple people said they had an issue with it, so I took the post down, but I did go ahead and order the brush because even when it's not on sale, it's still really inexpensive. It's like $7, I think, for a size 8. And if it's sable, that's extremely worth it, even for an average brush. So I went ahead and ordered it just to see if it was worth the money. And because usually a brush that cheap is not. It's not, absolutely not worth the money. So, but I figured, you know what, let's go ahead and give it a shot because it'd be great if it was. And that came today. So, what I'm gonna go ahead and first impressions. I did go ahead and break the starch. I didn't clean it, prep it, or train it or anything. I just, flicked the starch out of it to get it ready to use. The hairs are kind of poking up everywhere, which you'll have that with a lot of brushes until you train them. That's pretty standard. Maybe not to this extent, but it is standard. It is. I'm going to tell you it's sable right now. And the reason you can tell that, this brush was supposed to be sable too, and it was not. It was nylon. And the way I know is the fibers were really light, and then when I dipped them in monomer, they get really dark. Now, it also looks kind of greasy, and when you go to pick up a bead and lay it down, it doesn't release it. It stays in the brush. Like, it's still coming out of the brush. Anyway, if it's sable, and see how the hairs are all one color and pretty uniform. Now, when it's sable, those hairs are not going to be uniform because it's animal fur. Sable is animal fur. So the hairs cannot be 100% identical. There are going to be variations in color and length. Sorry, we're having trouble focusing today. There we go. You're going to have variations in color, length, yada yada. And when you take a real sable brush, like this one, and dip it in monomer, the color doesn't change. It stays pretty much the same, except it'll look slick. See how that's still light? Now, to compare it to the exact same brush, the color's still pretty similar. So, and the reason that this brush behaves that way is because it doesn't absorb monomer, so when you go to release the bead, it doesn't release monomer. So it doesn't kind of wash the brush when you release the bead. Anyway, so first impressions, I am going to say that this is sable, just by the feel. And as far as the hairs, you're going to have that with any brush until you train it. I prefer the top coat method because even my $50 brushes had to be trained. That's what's going on with this one right now. It's covered in top coat to train the bristles the way that I want them. It was not crimped, which I don't mind. I like a round brush. I have crimped brushes if I need them, but I like working with a round brush. So I do believe this is actually sable, in which case, awesome. And I really like the handle. Like, I like the liquid glitter handle. So I am going to go ahead and give this a shot, and we'll see how it does. So obviously, since this is the first time I'm using it, I am going to clean it out, get rid of that starch. And again, the color didn't change. It's still fairly light. Real sable doesn't get dark when it gets wet. Nylon does. Certain other fibers do. Sable does not. I will say this is a little small. but it's been a while since I've worked with a size 8, so I don't know if that's what it's supposed to look like or not. It's been quite a while. I think, let me see, I think I have a size 8 here. I believe this was a size 8, so yeah, pretty close. Alright, we're going to be working with a blue today. That way, you guys can see if anything is stuck on the brush or, you know, see if it leaves any nasty grooves or anything. And I will say the hairs aren't going into place the way that they normally would, even without training, but it's not awful. So let me go ahead and finish cleaning the starch out of this, and then we will go ahead and give it a shot. But like I said, if it's even moderately decent, it's definitely worth the couple bucks as a backup. Normally I would say, hey, it's cheap, use it for practice. However, you don't want to get a bad brush for practice because it makes practice harder, and you can't learn as well if you're compensating for that mess. So, yeah, it's not super fat. It's pretty small, so it might be, you know, it would be okay as a beginner brush for smaller beads. All right, let's go ahead and give it a shot. It did pick up a rather large bead for a size 8. I'm kind of surprised. So press and release. Oh, it did come very clean. I'm actually kind of surprised. So let's go ahead and lay that down. It is soaking up monomer like crazy though. So first impressions, it's not awful. I'm actually really surprised. I think like it would be worth it. I think the size 12 and 14s are like 11 bucks. I think it would be worth it to get a couple as backups just because they're so cheap. Couldn't hurt to have them just in case, you know? And so far it's laying, like I think if I trained it properly, it would be a pretty decent brush actually. And then we'll see how well it cleans, because that's something I noticed, like even great brushes sometimes can be like they don't want to come clean, and it just ruins it because you have to go through a bunch of crap every time you go to clean them out. Like they hold the acrylic and don't want to let it go. All right, last one. It is picking up beads really well and even. Like, I will give it that. And it might be better if it was crimped too. I don't know. Like that might help the hair thing to crimp it and train it. Like I'm gonna train it tonight and see if that helps with that little. But I will say the little hairs poking out aren't really affecting its usage at all. Not really. I mean, it's not leaving any grooves. They're not catching any acrylic. I'm actually kind of surprised. I think in a bigger size, this would be decent. I'm not used to working with such a small brush, though. Yeah, honestly, definitely worth what I paid for it, for sure. Because even if I only get like 2 or 3 uses out of it, it was $7. Maybe if you have an ugly acrylic that stains your brush and you don't want to use your regular brush for. Actually, this would probably make a good like 3D flower brush too, because it's so small. Maybe. I don't know. I don't do 3D flowers, so I don't know. But it's like, it's pressing fine. It's like leveling everything out without leaving any grooves or marks or anything. Like, I like it. I mean, it's not my favorite, obviously, but for $7, it might be. Shit. So, let's see how it cleans. Oh. So I'm not going to scrape it. I'm going to see how it does without scraping, see what's in there. Because, like most brushes, you have to kind of, you know, work the acrylic out. So this is just with rinsing with the monomer. There really is nothing in there. I give it my little shimmy test to see if there's anything down in the bristles. There is just a little bit. You can see come out. But that's it. Like, I fully expected a lot worse. I expected it to be super clogged, but... Oh, sorry. Actually came really clean. So I will say, all in all, I'm impressed. Like, I really did not expect it to be, I didn't expect it to be worth the money. I'm really impressed. I think it's listed under the Model 1s, but that's not the Model 1s brush that I, like, when I ordered this same brush before under Model 1s, it said something totally different, and it didn't look like this. Like, this one says Hermonis Kolinsky, number 8, and the Model 1s brush said Model 1s. So that's weird. I think maybe this is just being sold under their name. But, yeah, I think it's definitely worth what I paid for it. I'm going to give it a shot at training it and see how that goes, but I definitely recommend it as a backup, and I'll post the link for it if anybody's interested, because like I said, it can't hurt to have extras, especially that cheap. So don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. We have the next big giveaway at 500 subscribers, and we're moving pretty quickly towards it, actually. I'm kind of surprised. But if you guys have any questions, comment down below, or, get a hold of me, you know how. If you have any suggestions for the next video, if there's something you want to see, something you need help with, comment down below, let me know. And as always, thanks for watching.